Your goal, honestly, instead of going for speed, should be how well you can understand the underwriting. Because you need to be able to figure out what different aspects or what different levers you can pull in that model to make the deal work, right? Is it about bringing more money to the deal? Is it about, having a higher down payment so that your debt service coverage ratio remains high throughout the entire process and your refi looks good after the fact, right? Because you don't want to get into a deal where you've got a debt service coverage ratio of like 1.25 bare minimum going in year one. And then once you do your cash out refi, then you're going to be like less than that. You'd be like maybe 1.1 or 1.05, or you're just basically breaking even almost, right? And one thing goes wrong, then, late on the mortgage or you're behind on the mortgage. So there's a lot of different considerations before you go to speed. I would say work to understand the underwriting process and figure out, hey, how do bigger down payments work? How do preferred returns come into play? What is my exit cap rate assumptions looking like? And how much is that going to swing the deal one way or the other? Like, I met a guy who bought a deal here in South Florida at a 5 cap. And on his exit, he was projecting 4.5 cap. That's not exactly conservative, right? He's banking on the fact that this market is going to continue to appreciate over the next 3 to 5 years, which it very well may be because I live in Miami, but I don't want to bank on that, right? Because, something hits the fan and then the market stays stagnant, or worse, it gets a little bit more loose, a little uglier. Then what are you going to do? Now you're going to be severely upside down. See, in my underwriting, the reason why it's so hard for me to find a deal is because I bank on those things to happen. I expect in my underwriting for the market to get worse. I expect for expenses to go up. I expect for my taxes, my insurance to be, not through the roof, but, much higher than what I'm looking at on the T12. I assume all of these types of things. I assume interest rates are not going to be as favorable in the future, right? And so with all of those bad things happening, I still will hit my 15% internal rate of return so I can double my investor money in the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, right? So when those things that I'm looking for don't happen, that's how you end up like my firm Disrupt, averaging 50%. We're averaging 50% annualized returns because we're so conservative going into a deal. Yeah. And so you need to be don't worry about speed yet. It's about growing competence at this level. Okay. You got to be able to get good, because I want you to get so good that when you're having a conversation with another investor or a broker and they say something, you would understand the relationship of what that means. They're like, hey, by the way, CoStar report came out and we're expecting expanding cap rates, right? What does that tell you for what you should project in the future about values of properties if cap rates are going to be going up? Exactly. Cap rates are going up, value goes down, right? And so that's a huge thing.